In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Joaquín de Miguel. He's hailing over from the team at ForumPay. And ForumPay is basically, if you're looking into a very, very interesting market, crypto payment gateway. So definitely, giving us a sort of a glimpse into the reality and also the future of crypto-powered payments gateways. So we're going to be, learning all about ForumPay, but also because obviously it's the Platform Presents show, we're going to look into growth channels and, channels and challenges in growing company like that. So Miguel, welcome to the show. Welcome, Joaquín.
Hi, how are you? Well, my name is Joaquín de Miguel. I'm the marketing director of ForumPay. And well, I guess we're here to discuss a little bit about how marketing goes in that space. So let me just introduce a little bit ForumPay. So we're a crypto to fiat payment processor, meaning that we just accept crypto payments, but we pay the merchants that are receiving the payment either in crypto or in the cash currency of their choice, whether it's euros, dollars, rands, whatever that may be. We settle at the end of the day and the merchant gets the funds the next day. So basically that enables any crypto holder to go at any merchant of their choice and have the convenience of being able to pay with crypto without necessarily having to cash out like other solutions out there offer. There are many other options in the marketplace right now. Most of them usually use cards. This is not the case with us. We're more like crypto native in that sense. You would just pay with your regular wallet, whatever that wallet may be. We're agnostic. You'd select the cryptocurrency of your choice, scan the QR code from the merchant, and then you pay out with your crypto. We then, as ForumPay, pay out the merchant in the cash currency. So yeah, that's basically a little bit what we do. So I don't know if you want me to talk about a little bit about my experience there.
Yeah, maybe tell me maybe first a little bit about sort of the companies that are implementing the solution. Are we talking e-commerce types of solutions? Who's bringing in the technology? What types of organizations are sort of early on the ship?
So right now we're a little bit targeting a little bit everybody, mainly because it's payments. So it's you have all sorts of payments out there. So our audience is pretty broad. The type of merchants with whom we've had like very good reception from the beginning, not necessarily having to be marketing heavy, have been companies in the gaming space, gaming and iGaming, gambling, things like that. Those are pretty open with crypto and because they're already welcoming like what crypto consumers, so they're already facing the challenge today. So most of them have come without the necessity of having a strong marketing push towards them. Then we've had a really good reception on the luxury sector, mainly around yacht rentals, private jets. Those are the ones that are working quite well right now. Mainly because the type of consumer that can afford to use those kind of services is very likely to be in the crypto space today. So they've had a lot of crypto demand. So we've gotten a lot of requests from companies like that, especially based out of the United States, mainly around the Florida area. So that's been working quite well for us. And the other one that's very interested in this space is real estate. Again, this is mainly US focused. Then the other ones where we find quite success is in the remittance sector, because moving money around the world is a challenge. Depending on where you're based, it's very costly. There's changing currencies. There's also political stuff that jumps in the middle of it. So it's not as easy to move cash around for countries that are outside the United States or the European Union. So those are challenges that as Western people we're not that aware of, but the rest of the world really is. So our solution speaks to them a lot in the sense that they can pay with crypto and then the merchant or business that is supposed to receive the payment can receive it in cash without necessarily having to embrace crypto or facing the risk that it has. So that's pretty much why our solution is out there, is bringing crypto payments to as many people as possible. Whether they like crypto or they don't have to feel the risk because we kind of take the risk out of the picture with our service.
No, that makes a whole lot of sense. What I'm curious is, within those organizations that are bringing in the technology into their payment flows, like what role is typically reaching out to you guys? Is that sort of, like from a user experience side? Does it come from the technical, a CTO that is bringing in the solution? Is it more like a C-suite that just, strategically says, we need to bring in solutions like that? Like, where does the demand come from?
So it's mainly coming from actual business owners in that sense, because the two ways. There's people hear about crypto, has been in everybody's mouth, at least for the last year was pretty heavy. I mean, the space has been pretty active now for over 6 years, but it's really been this last year where it's become mainstream to the point that any news channel talks about it. So we've definitely felt that we have business owners that want to jump on board with this because they might have heard it on TV. They see people buying it. They want to see how they can, participate in it. How it's sold as a currency from the beginning. So that implies that there's a payment that needs to be done. So these business owners usually approach us in a way that they want to be able to cater to the crypto consumer, because more and more news are appearing about people that actually live almost, if not fully, in crypto, maybe an 80%. And so many people don't understand it, but those consumers are usually pretty wealthy. They buy things that are pretty expensive, and they don't really look at their savings in a traditional way like the traditional consumer would. In fact, one of the reasons we decided to go like full throttle on this type of business is that we saw that the data was around the crypto consumer was just very hard to ignore, in the sense that they just spend a lot more than your average credit card holder does. So that's why it's really appealing to those luxurious services. So yeah, these business owners usually come forward asking for that, or even crypto savvy people that they want to implement that in their own business, because in a way it allows kind of like to bridge the two worlds, the ones that are okay with living with the risk that crypto has, the volatility it has, but also the benefits that the fiat traditional world can't offer you, with the ones that just don't want to deal with the risk. They just want to be able to acquire those customers. In fact, the way we kind of pitch ForumPay is as a customer acquisition tool. We're basically telling merchants, hey, like, you're basically welcome those consumers already here, but there's just going to be a lot more incoming. Like, this is inevitable at this point. The crypto space has become like systemic. We're already in the over $3 trillion realm. So this is here to stay. In a way, it's a solution to welcome more customers and future-proof your business in a way.
Makes sense. Now, how do these business owners learn about ForumPay? Like, what's the journey that they go through? Or in other words, what are sort of the key client acquisition channels that you guys leverage to, let them get to know about ForumPay?
Yes. So here, this is what's been an interesting journey to market ForumPay, because I mean, I come from traditionally from the video space. I've been involved also in crypto for 5 years now, but at a personal level, not as necessarily as a marketer. So when facing the challenge of seeing how do I bring merchants, how do I bring people that want to spend crypto online, when it's a field that prioritizes a lot of privacy, it's been very, very challenging. Because you're dealing with a type of consumer that really is very aware of what people do with their data and is not really keen on giving it away as easily as in other fields people are. And then finding merchants that are looking for this, because we had to fight against the most popular topic, which is, how do I buy crypto? It's actually today still a challenge. We got a lot of people, traffic that are incoming and asking, hey, how do I buy crypto? How do I get on this? Because the market is so uneducated that people don't know where to start. There's just so much information out there. There's different currencies now. The NFT hype hasn't helped either, because it's another entry point and people don't know where to start. So yeah, they think that the one that's actually taking the payments can allow you to buy, and the one that allows you to buy can take payments. So there's been a lot of trying to educate the consumer, trying to educate the merchant, and trying to educate the traffic that gets to our site. So our major push here was around just do as many blogs as possible. The good thing about here is that we have an infinite array of topics that we can cover, in the sense that, you know, usually you're pretty limited to your sector or like things have already been assessed, but here everything is new, so we don't run out of stuff to explain. There's just so many doubts. So that's the good part, is that we've managed to do our SEO work really well, to bring as much people as possible, because, you know, you can just write blogs about any sector is different. Paying with crypto and real estate is not the same as paying with crypto to book a private jet. Is not the same as buying a coffee with crypto. So basically you can just take out articles for any of topics like that, and then, you know, bring them, kind of educate your traffic as it comes through, and then eventually turn them into merchants because you educated them in the first place. Then the other big challenge we faced was around SEM, mainly because, well, you know, as SEO takes some time to ramp up, no matter how good of a job you do, it's going to take optimistically 2-3 months, realistically 6. So normally what you do to counterbalance that is SEM. But here what we found is that clearly Google and Facebook and Instagram, well, same company, aren't, you know, that crypto friendly yet, because, you know, they're Web 2. They don't like this whole Web 3 because it kind of takes power out of them. So we've been dealing with a lot of stop campaigns for no reason, justification of what it is that you're doing, because granted, there is also a lot of scams out there involving crypto. So it's fair that they need to be doing their due diligence, but it's reached to a point that you can clearly tell that they're not interested in you pushing your content out there. Basically, to get Google verified and everything, normally it takes you, what, a couple of weeks or 2. But here it went really high. Like, it took us 7 months to get verified. Yeah, when submitting ridiculous kinds of information, certifications, like a lot of stuff just to get an average certification from Google and being able to use Google Ads as properly. And same goes for Facebook and Instagram. It's been stopping a lot of the campaigns. You have to word things in a certain way. So that's been the big challenge. The one that's, I would say, the most crypto friendly in terms of marketing is definitely Twitter. So Twitter asked for regular verification, but was still reasonable. So yeah, we did that, and yeah, Twitter is allowing us now to market properly. So that's been quick and easy. And then the other challenge is that you need to find, where do you find a crypto consumer? Because a crypto merchant, I mean, it's going to be a business, still going to go a little bit the traditional route of, like, you know, you can find them on Google, on Instagram, from little businesses that promote themselves there, or on Facebook Marketplace. But for the consumer, the real crypto consumer, the one that will actually go and purchase maybe their groceries with crypto, book a hotel with crypto, not I would say the average Joe that buys crypto hoping that they'll get rich in the span of, like, you know, a year or 2. That one's not going to spend their crypto. So, or is not involved enough to, you know, have that interest in the first place. So getting those crypto consumers was like a learning curve, in the sense that you need to get onto different channels, because they like privacy a lot. So you have to get into Reddit. And in Reddit, you can't really market properly, because otherwise you're going to be, you know, pointed at as you're doing advertising really quickly. And that actually might harm you more than do good. So that's why the content that we've been putting out in terms of blogs, the interviews that we're running from time to time, and videos, those are really helping, because we're just like providing knowledge. We're trying we're trying to sound as less, the least salesy as possible. So we can put those articles there and not get flagged. And those are actually proving to be the ones that drive the most traffic. So that's good. And then now we're testing Discord, so that we can have a community that can work with us, in the sense that we're working hard on putting together a referral program for our solution. but we want crypto consumers to be the ones that are driving it. So we're starting Discord channels with incentives for them to start participating, to onboard more merchants, and also, give visibility a little bit to these people. Because another challenge that we faced is that less from the marketing angle, because we deal with inbound leads mainly. But our sales force has the challenge of going out there, having to explain this to people that are not necessarily from the crypto space, or are not even interested in the matter, or they've just heard about Bitcoin and that's it. So for them, the challenge is, I'd say, a lot harder. First for converting, and then getting those crypto consumers to go and buy at those merchants. Mainly because those businesses are not aware of who the crypto consumer is. Very few of us today still know people that that actually run with this as a means of transacting on a daily basis. So when you tell them, hey, there's like over 350 million people that have wallets today, like for them, it's hard to visualize because they've never seen it. And for Europeans, for Americans, that's still hard to see today, because the crypto consumer in these places is usually a crypto consumer that holds, not the crypto consumer that spends. Because we're in countries where there's still political stability, there's still somewhat of a financial stability, although we're dealing with almost 10% inflation now. But it's a lot easier for a person from developing countries to understand this than it is for a Western.
What role do you attribute to the website? You mentioned inbound a couple of times, the blog. Like, how do you think about the website, when it comes to revenue growth for the company?
So the website is the core of everything now. Basically, I use it more as a tool. First, because consumer acquisition, and then qualification. So I've been working hard on making sure that we're qualifying the traffic. I want to make the chat bot really is something that's helping in that sense. Since we implemented that, it's been a lot easier to convert because we can already, like with a few questions from the bot, and then we push it to a salesperson, we're able to know whether, we're spending our resources and time effectively. Then we're also working now on making sure that we get the website in a way that you can onboard yourself. We want people to be able to go and, when they want to spend crypto, they land on our site and they can get it done in a matter of minutes. That's been challenging mainly because when it comes to payments, the due diligence and the KYC that you need to do is a lot more detailed and hard to fill than the one for just, opening a crypto trading account. So that's something that we're working on right now on getting solved, so we can, maximize the website as much as possible. Then the other thing that we worked hard on are landing pages, so we can segment the traffic that we get to drive campaigns, for example, specific to real estate, specific to iGaming, specific to cannabis as well. That's another industry that's working well. So because again, the payment process is not the same at all depending on the industry. So if you're in the US, for example, in the US, that the real estate space is huge, and you have, real estate agents everywhere basically, and these guys want to get in on this. But there's still things, no matter if the person that's selling the house is willing to take crypto or not, or the one that wants to buy it in crypto or not, you still have to deal with the legal aspect of it. There still needs to be an escrow and a title company there that's going to validate the transaction and give you some sort of certification that the house is indeed yours now. So of course we can't be pitching to them that it's going to be easy. Right. Like we have to tell them, okay, it's as simple as we can make it really, but there's still the steps that you need to go through. We make sure that the FAQ on each page is specific to the industry that we're talking about. Because like as soon as we collect the questions that we get, and over time we just update the FAQ, and that's working pretty well.
Cool. Yeah, no, we did a sort of a very interesting round, learn about ForumPay, how you're thinking about the the market in itself? Are you thinking about growth for the company? Maybe just to, as we're slowly getting to the end of the interview, just to wrap it up, if you would be sort of, rejoining that industry now, and let's say this is your first day now working with ForumPay, what's the one advice you would give yourself for the journey?
Be patient, and be aware that you're still at the very beginning of this. Like, that's one thing. When I joined, I was like, since I lived in my own bubble of crypto knowledge, I assume that everybody else is has that kind of knowledge, or is crypto versed in a way. And the more I get into this, the more I realize that we're very few still, and we have a lot of people incoming every day, which is great. But there's still a lot of ground to cover. We're still like in the equivalent of the early days of the internet. There's still a lot of questions to be answered. But in a way, I mean, the more questions to answer, the more content we can put out there. So
the more blog posts.
The upside.
Very good. No, that makes a lot of sense, Joaquín. I really appreciate you took the time with us today to be a guest on Pathmark Presents. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about ForumPay, what's the one thing they should remember?
That you can start accepting crypto at your business or anywhere, whether it's online, brick and mortar, without having to take any of the risk. It's good for you in the sense that it's a good marketing stunt. Like now, accepting crypto is fashionable. So yeah, welcome new consumers, accept crypto payments, risk-free, and yeah, jump on board.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmark Presents.